In today's video, we're checking out the Harley Benton MR Classic LHSB. The LH stands for left-handed, but this is also, of course, available in a right-handed configuration. If you want to check it out, I'll link it down to Thomann in the description box below. This is my very first time playing a baritone electric guitar after all these years, and there's a lot to like about it. And I almost feel like now I've been missing out. This was a whole lot of fun to play, and I'm going to give you my thoughts about it at the end of the video. Before we get into it, a huge thank you to Thomann for sending this out for the review. I really appreciate it. I'll run you through the pros and cons and what you need to know about this also at the end, so stay tuned for that. Timestamps will be below. Let's get into it. First up, I want to show you just how great this guitar sounds clean, because clean tones on a baritone guitar sometimes go overlooked. Let's get into it. Those clean tones sounded really great to my ear, especially paired with the Blues Deluxe with that eminent Swamp Thing speaker. What I'm going to do now is cycle through a couple of those rhythm tracks so you can hear them in an isolated fashion. Not having played a baritone guitar before, I was completely unaware of just how beautiful the clean tones could be and how much low end comes out of that amp. It really does sound great. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Here's the Harley Benton MR Classic SB up close. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this particular guitar style, the MR basically denotes most right in its name. So it's very similar to a most right guitar, best known for punk and surf music, but you can get so much more out of it. Being that so many videos showcase that kind of style of music, I'm going to showcase a little bit of something different. When it comes to straight up playability, the biggest difference between the MR Classic Baritone and the MR Classic Standard electric guitar back here is the scale length. On this particular instrument right here, we get a scale length of 27 inches, which is pretty uncommon, as most regular Stratocasters, for example, are around 25. We get 22 rather large frets on this roasted Jatoba fretboard, and we get a C-shaped profile neck. The neck profile really feels great in the hand. It's not overly thin, and it's definitely not too fat. I think they've made a really great compromise. The electronics on this guitar couldn't be more simple. We get two Artec P90 Alnico 5 vintage style pickups. These are single coils. You get lots of low end, lots of high end, and they really have a lot of attitude. We get a three-way toggle switch allowing you to go from neck in the up position, both pickups in the center, down to bridge in the down position. We get one volume control and one tone control. Tuning stability hasn't been an issue. We get Kluson style Wilkinson tuners, and there's the back of the headstock. Considering the baritone guitar is quite a bit bigger than the standard electric guitar, I was really surprised that it didn't break my back weight-wise. So I'll put the weight on screen. I guess there'll be some sample variation in terms of what you can expect weight-wise, but overall I feel this is pretty comfortable. Up next, I want to showcase just how great this guitar can sound with a bit of dirt. So some of the rhythm tracks are thanks to my Blues Deluxe drive channel, which inherently doesn't sound that good, but it worked great with this. And some of them are also thanks to my Marshall DSL 40CR. I'll put all the information on screen and I'll talk about it in a moment. Here we go. Those rhythm tones to my ear with a bit of drive sounded fantastic, but what I'm going to do now is show you how they sound without the drum and bass track so you can get a real sense of how much low end was coming out of my amps. Here we go. Those rhythm tones to my ear are some of the best I've recorded in this room, and it's done with this Harley Benton baritone electric guitar. It handled drive beautifully, and as you could hear, it just has a very different vibe to a standard electric guitar. Thanks for watching, folks. My name's Shane. A massive thank you to Thomann for sending this out for the review. I really appreciate it. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the Harley Benton MR Classic baritone electric guitar. This is the first time I've ever played a baritone electric guitar, and it's been a whole lot of fun. When it comes to playability, after a couple of minutes I felt at home playing this. There is a difference when it comes to bending strings and doing all that kind of stuff, but I think this guitar really shines for single note stuff and of course rhythm guitar. The clean rhythm part sounded full, rich, round, big, awesome. Clean tones on this are highly underrated. When it came to the dirty tones, again, the rhythm tones were by far the star of the show. Having that extra low end response is fantastic. Now, if you've never played a baritone guitar like I hadn't up until today, just know you have to drastically change the EQ on your amp. Bring out the bass, bring up the treble a little bit, and you should be good to go. Now, I've got custom speakers in both of these amplifiers and they handle the low end extremely well, and I was like smiling knowing how much low end was coming out of these speakers, even with the bass turned down. So these are a whole lot of fun. Now, when it came to the pickups sounded great, clean and dirty. If I turned the gain too high, they do have a tendency to take off and squeal a little bit, but that's just because I'm in really close proximity of my amplifiers up at basically gig level. It was pretty loud. I did have the DSL 40 on 20 watt mode, but overall it was up really loud, and I think they handled the tones no problems. But just be aware that if you're up really loud and really close to your amplifier, these single coil pickups can take off just a little bit in terms of that high end frequency. But overall, great feel on the neck. It's not overly heavy considering that this is a baritone guitar. If you play mostly seated, I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. Tuning stability has also been very good. If you're looking for a baritone guitar on a budget, the MR Classic from Harley Benton makes a lot of sense. Thanks again for watching. Links will be below. Catch you soon. See ya.